After being in a holding pattern for the last couple of weeks with the well, it seems like everything is finally shaping up. Right after I premiered the last video, I got a text from the driller saying that the contractor was going to be out in the next couple of days. We need some trenching for the main water line, and then I am planning on having a few more dug for the horses' permanent pens. Ziggy and Scarlett are currently occupying a pen where I am going to sink a pretty big water line, so I need to get them in a temporary setup for all the digging. After waiting for so long, I'm pretty excited to see some trenching going in around here. With the days getting shorter and the nights getting a little cooler, I have seen a bit of an explosion in the front flower garden. Charlotte does her best to keep all of the unwanted grass at bay. I had to go into town to sign a few bits of paperwork for the skid steer rental, and as luck would have it, the local farm store was having a crazy sale that I just could not resist. This store is revamping its showroom, so all of the inventory has to go, and it is 75% off. They've been having some pretty good sales before this, and I did pick up a few things in the last couple of weeks. But at 75% off, I am going to invest in a few things that I don't really need, but I really would like to try. I have one supplement that I basically feed to all of the horses, so I don't like to do tests. But Ziggy is looking a little weak in his top line, so these Formula 707 ones should be good for him. This store has a really good selection of a few things that you really can't find anywhere else. Even if these sit in my tack room until I need them, they are nice to have around. I'm trying really hard not to go overboard. If I were still selling things online to pay for the horses, I would probably have a couple more carts. I love the cloud boots for rehabbing different hoof ailments, and they are pretty darn expensive. Instead of paying $140 per boot, I am going to be paying $35 today. They had a set of trail shoes that I'm pretty sure are going to fit Studman. I would have loved to pick up some jeans for my husband, but these just are not something that he wears. He is pretty excited about the skid steer coming for a month, and I'm sure I'll get him out moving dirt around. Another thing that is pretty handy to have around when you're training horses are these very scary flickers. I think this is something that little Bruce will find intriguing, and it's always nice to have around. It is a very common task in a trail course when you go to horse shows. Winter will eventually be here, and it'll be nice to have a really high quality pair of shearling slippers. I was in a little bit of a time crunch, so I hurried to get my full cart loaded back in the truck. I will have to do a haul video for you guys when I get back home. I did pick up a few very exciting things. Unfortunately, while I was away, one of the shelters met its demise.
What happened? Dang.
We had a surprise windstorm come through, and it definitely did a number on this shelter. The frame is still completely filled with wasps, so I'm going to have to take it down at a later date. I've had a lot of questions about Sparkler lately and when I'm going to continue her real training. If you guys remember, back when I was halter training her, she did have a lot of problems with me touching her head. I've been doing a lot of body work with her, and I think I have finally started to fix the main problem that she was having with her neck. Since these Mustangs are not trained in any way, they do get moved around in a chute system. Sparkler was gathered when she was only a few months old, so she definitely could have kinked her neck in the year she was in holding. There was a very obvious asymmetry to the muscles, but over the last 2 months, I've been slowly adjusting, and I can definitely see a big difference now.
She's gonna whoop your butt. Be nice to her.
It has been really nice to see Sparkler getting along with Whiplash and Goose. I'm feeling pretty confident that the body work she's been getting has improved her attitude as well. I really do not like to train horses when they do have something wrong with them. I'd like Sparkler's neck to be back to pretty much normal before I start back in on any hard training. The new little turnout I built for Prim and Bruce is almost completed. I was going to put a gate up, but I scrapped that plan because I need to have it done as quickly as possible so Scarlett and Ziggy can come in here while they are trenching. I'm planning to move them over tomorrow. When they're out of their main dry lot, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how big the machine is going to be that's coming, but I'm guessing it's going to need to be in this area. We're trenching from the well to this frost-free hydrant and then into the house. All of the horses were pretty chill when the actual drilling was happening, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal for another big piece of equipment to be close to their pens. We did, however, have one casualty.
Put this on you. Boop. Nice cape, little dude. Look at you. Let me see you. Come here. It's on you. What do you think, Primmy?
It didn't take long for Bruce's exuberance around his new toy to end in disaster. It's always nice when these training sessions present themselves.
You'll be okay, Primmy. Off.
Bruce does take everything in stride. I think Prim was more worried about him. I do have another ball that I can replace this one with, but I definitely want to keep this cover because it does remind me of Skeletor so much. This is one thing that I'll definitely have to find my sewing kit for to repair.
Come on.
We are in dire straits with our irrigation water. It is pretty much run dry. Fortunately, the hugelkultur beds seem to be working as planned and we are getting some really awesome blossoms coming. The contractor should be here in a few hours, so I better get Ziggy and Scarlett comfortable in their new temporary turnout.
Come on, Zig! Come on, Ziggo! There you go! Come on! Come on! What do you think, Ziggo?
I do like the grass hay for the horses because it takes a bit longer for them to eat every day. But there are a handful of horses that probably really need to have alfalfa in their diet. With Ziggy being older, he is definitely one that could benefit.
Ziggo! What do you think, little girl?
Scarlett has grown into a big, pretty mare, and it's high time I got back to working her as well. It is pretty hard for me to focus my attention on two things at once, and for the last year since we moved here, I've been focusing on getting everything in tip-top shape. We've been waiting to get this well complete since before Bruce was here, so it has been a big chunk of the summer. My plans have definitely not unfolded as I had thought when we moved. Pretty much everything I had planned got shifted around while we waited on the drilling and now all of the trenching. I had big plans to reseed a lot of the pasture, but unfortunately we do not have access to any of our irrigation water at this time. The reservoir that we get our shares from is extremely low and they are not taking orders anymore. It looks like reseeding is either going to have to happen during late winter or early spring next year.
Okay, Zig.
There is a silver lining in that I can turn the horses out on all of this barren ground. If there were seedlings sprouted up, I would have to keep them off of it. While I would love for them to be out grazing, it'll be nice just to give them more space to run around.
Mare?
Most of the prairie dogs have packed up and moved to the other side of the property. I'm feeling more confident as I expand out away from the existing pastures that they will continue to move.
Nope.
This new pen is actually smaller than Ziggy and Scarlett's existing dry lot. So it's a little bit silly that they're having so much fun racing around in a smaller space.
Whoa, Mare. Oh, Zig.
I think the cool weather just had them a little bit extra fresh. I'm really hoping that they get it out of their system before the heavy equipment gets here. I'm not sure how many days the trenching is going to take. I think it very heavily depends on what they find underground.
Nope, this is closed for business, Ziggo.
I uncovered some pretty substantial
Boy.
boulders when I was doing the initial dirt work for the permanent pens. In the last video, I said that we were getting 100 more ton of footing for the horses. I misspoke and we're actually getting 1,000 tons. I'm hoping that is going to be enough. It's a pretty big investment, but it will be worth it to keep the ground good for the horses. Both the footing and the skid steer is going to be delivered early next week. Even though our yard is torn up and it's going to make it harder for me to do chores every day, I'm pretty excited that we now have a trench for the electricity as well as the main trench for the new well. By this time next week, I'm hoping we'll actually have water in the house. The only one really upset with all of the trenching was, of course, Tiny. We uncovered a few surprises while the trenching was going on. I'm having this contractor crunch the numbers and give me a few quotes for running more trenching for the water lines. Having water easily accessible at all of the horse pens is going to be a luxury that I am happy to invest in. We don't have an unlimited budget, but the water and the electricity to the horse troughs is something that will definitely pay itself off very quickly.
Oh. What you doing, buddy? Careful.
I'm feeling pretty hopeful about a speedy completion of this project. With the trenches now dug, I can focus my attention on future projects. I want to make the best out of my time with the skid steer rental, so For the next month, I'm going to be pretty darn busy. It will be nice to finally be able to take a nice long shower at the end of the day. I've got a few little chores to get ready for the dirt work coming up, but after that, it should be smooth sailing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.